Ma'am, can you please unmute?
When did you join?
4:15. You
Okay.
turned back twice. You didn't see me.
Yeah, I didn't see you. I couldn't see. Actually, I minimized it, so I couldn't see your tab.
I thought you saw me.
I didn't see.
Oh.
That's why we heard your voice and we said, Palak. Then you should have said no that you must have gone through the reading that we were doing.
I was so
You
into reading that I just didn't realize that I did not read.
did. Okay, now you read well. Like that. Yes, now let's see which three girls. So where were we now?
From now onwards, I'll greet you every time I join so that you know that I've joined.
Yeah, do that.
Yes.
Because I usually minimize the screen and I couldn't see your tablet.
Okay, so I'll greet you every time from now.
Okay, so we did the first para, right? Part 4, first para we finished. So Palak, you can read the rest of it. Start with outside the house.
Outside the house, I exercised him on a lead precisely as if he had been a dog. Mitch quickly developed certain compulsive habits on these walks in the London streets, like the rituals of children who, on their way to and from school, must place their feet squarely on the center of each paving block, must touch every 17th upright of the iron railing, or pass to the outside of every second lamppost. Opposite to my flat was a single storied primary school, along whose frontage ran a low wall some 2 feet high. On his way home, but never on his way out, Mitch would tug me to this wall, jump onto it, and gallop the full length of its 30 yards, to the hopeless distraction both of pupils and of staff within.
Okay. So what are we talking about here? Here we are talking about which is compulsive habits. Okay. Compulsive habits like compulsive habits of children. They have given some examples. So what is a compulsive habit like which and see that no, that all those three examples are the compulsive habits of children on their way to and from school. What are the compulsive habits of children? First is what? See, on their way, feet squarely in the center of each paving block. Like you have these boxes like it is here, the type. So you should not touch the lines. You should keep your leg in the center. So that is one. Second is what? Must touch every seventh upright on of the iron railing. Seventh upright means you have these pillars, no, in the railing, those bars. So you touch every seventh pillar of that railing. And the third one, all pass to the outside of every second lamppost. When you go like the zigzag from every lamppost. Go from outside and you go from here. So these are the compulsive habits of children. Now what was the compulsive habit of Mitch? So he says, opposite to my flat was a single storied primary school, along whose frontage ran a low wall some 2 feet high. So in front of it was a small fence. It was 2 feet high. On his way home, but never on his way out. So when we used to do this, always when they used to be going back home. Okay? Mitch would tug me to this wall. Tug me means he used to pull him because he used to be on leash. So he used to pull him towards the wall, jump on it, and gather the full length of its 30 yards. Jump and walk on which 30 yards of that fence, the school fence, to the hopeless distraction of both the pupils and the staff within, because those people are not used to seeing an otter run like this. So imagine if you were to see an otter, it's something very different. So we say it used to be to distraction of the pupils and the staff. Okay, so what are the three things that we spoke about? The you can be compulsive habits of children without seeing them. Tell in your own words. Yes, the boss, they will basically all the work by this square. Yes. A center of SB square. That's the every second. Seven. That lamppost you need to go from the outside of it. Yeah. At the railing. No, I agree. And what was Mitchell's compulsive habit? Why did we talk about the children's habits? Because we are talking about which. What was Mitchell's compulsive habit? Along stage, ran up all for the friends. And what makes this do? You try, tug his master towards that wall, used to climb on it and walk that entire length. When he used to do this while going home or while going out, while going home, never always okay. When he used to go out. Okay, okay. What did you put up?
It is not, I suppose, in any way strange that the average Londoner should not recognize an otter, but the variety of guesses as to what kind of animal this might be came as a surprise to me. Otters belong to a comparatively small group of animals called mustelins, shared by the badger, mongoose, weasel, toad, mink, and others. I faced a continuous barrage of conjunctural questions that sprayed all the mustelins but the otter. More random guesses hit on a baby seal and a squirrel. Is that a walrus, mister? Reduced me to giggles. And outside a dog show, I heard a hippo, a beaver, a bear cub, a leopard, one apparently that had changed its spots.
Palak. Palak को कैसे? अरे यार it's not Palak first. ते Palak को नहीं है इसमें कॉल. हाँ. There was an error. There was an error here.
I read the whole paragraph.
I knew
I
that.
kept reading. Then her mother came. She told that, who are you talking to?
That's what I was telling them that she might continue reading. She must have.
She made me realize that I am disconnected.
You could tell your mom now. See how focused I am. Actually, here there was an error and the screen went blank. So now can you again read from that? It is not.
It is not, I suppose, in any way strange that the average Londoner should not recognize an otter. But the variety of guesses as to what kind of animal this might be came as a surprise to me. Otters belong to a comparatively small group of animals called mustelins, shared by the badger, mongoose, weasel, stoat, mink, and others. I faced a continuous barrage of conjunctural questions that sprayed all the mustelins but the otter. More random guesses hit on a baby seal and a squirrel. Is that a walrus, mister? Reduced me to giggles, and outside a dog show I heard a hippo, a beaver, a bear cub, a leopard, one apparently that had changed its spots, and a brontosaur. Mitch was anything but an otter. But the question for which I awarded the highest score came from a laborer digging a hole on the street. I was still far from him when he laid down his tool, put his hands on his hips, and began to stare. As I drew nearer, and I saw his expression of surprise and affront, as though he would have me know that he was not one upon whom to play jokes. I came abreast of him. He spat, glared, and then growled out, "Here, mister, what is that supposed to be?"
Okay. So the first paragraph talks about people not being able to guess which animal it was. So he's saying that people could not recognize and what all. This part also says that it belongs to a small group of animals called mustelines, shared by the badger, mongoose, weasel, stoat, and mink means these other animals also belong to this category. Okay, and then it says that he faced a lot. See, what is the meaning of marriage of conjectural questions? Our attention span is finished for the day. That's again is a stream of questions filled with guesses because they all try to guess which type of animal it is. So everyone used to say a baby seal, a squirrel, a walrus. Somebody said hippo. Somebody said beaver, bear cub, leopard. Somebody said brontosaurus is a dinosaur. So he's saying which was anything but an auto because people did not be able to guess that it is an auto. Then he's saying that the question which was awarded the maximum score was this one, where the person didn't recognize only, and he said, "Hey, mister, what is that supposed to be?" From who was that? A laborer. Laborer digging a hole, not a farmer. A laborer digging a hole in the street. Okay. So he came towards him and asked him, "Hey, what animal is this?" He recognized. Okay. Any doubts with this chapter? Any doubts, boys? Even girls are saying, okay, let's follow. Boys, any doubts? Your question. That's waiting for the next chapter. Now and then the rest and you know that what else. What do we put up with you know a chapter and it's I refresh something. Also, you get this confidence that on turbulence there. You get this confidence on turbulence there. Okay, right now, first question. What examples or textbooks? What experiment? What experiment did Maxwell play? Max did Maxwell play Campus Kerala CAMUS FEARLA would be suitable for backward to next question. Being an author as a pet. Suitable for and discuss. Of course, FPS. Why does he go to Costa? Why does he go to Costa? How long does he wait there and why? Why does he go? He was expected to visit for May. And on May they stay 5 years. And why because it was his friends. I guess they show me the how long does he live there and why? Next question. So again, 2 months. How does he get the author? Does he have it? Comes. How does he get author? Does that
Can you repeat?
how does he get the author? Does he like it? So how does he get the author? On the airports. Huh? The airports. Yes. Was it a sad? No, she was that. Yes, it was given sent along with the virus. Yeah. Okay. It's very important. Gifted, was gifted by mistake. That we can learn. Next one, what happened? 2 months. Why you didn't put? What happened when Maxwell took Mijbil, when Maxwell took Mijbil to the bathroom, so what did he do? Yes, he was jumping, plunging, diving, and what did he do 2 days after that? Yes. Right. The cats keep the bathroom. And the question is, 2 months again, 8 months when what happened with this? What happened when Maxwell took Mijbil to the bathroom? What did he do 2 days after? Next one. How was Mijbil transported to England? How was Mijbil transported to England? What incident took place? Transported to England. What incident took place in the flight? Okay, I asked in, so before all those details you don't need to write. What happens in the 2 months? Right? माझ्याकडे आहे मी बुक्स हो काय कसं काय यावर्षी अच्छा so what did I say? So 10 marks. Correct? 10 marks. We finished 10 marks. No, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 5 questions. Now don't see picture up here.
Can you bring the second one once again?
Second.
Yes.
Why does he go first? How long does he wait there? Why?
Okay, thank you.
Now why am I writing Girish? what's the news for the because in the some places they use B also for the both. Escaping from the point at the marks I allowed it. The mortgage, yes, and the it's like it's the conversation rate when you want to usually like these chemistry knowledge at school, chemistry knowledge stuff. And so through that portal for the week, it was actually so from the machine and the portal. If It was it's one or two. And the two even you have to write PW. Who else? Who also written the number I think. Oh, it's not that long. I am also saying. So, you can get. They want to get the very good one for this. Every year, they will tell them it's bigger than comfortable. She didn't find it. Air hostess, 400%. Huh? But Mijbil himself came onto his plan onto his nation. That might change. Done. We also. Finish. You? Again? You already? Of course, we have it say a whole lot of Let's finish. Finish. A. I think it's example. I make that be a one there. It's one of those points and go fast. I didn't send it immediately. I did. That's it. When I finish,
I started in reverse order. I've completed with the fourth question.
because order 4 means we have 1, 2, 3 left.
Yes.
Talent or general. Talent. going here and there to do first two. Others will get first is what? What's the question? Correction of the first answer. The experiment of keeping an otter as a pet. Because he had a dog earlier, he didn't want a dog again. So he tried to experiment with an otter as a pet. The second one is what? Why does he want to? Why does want to last up or does he really like? Why does he go there? Because he was going to receive a mail and how long does he stay? 5 days. 5 days. He had gone with his friend, but his mail did not come. So it took him 5 days to receive. So you write those two. Pass always you're the one who says it's not complete, so I'm waiting for you. Or not, it's just half one. Let's see that one thing, you know, where that's the chapters that you can complete. Probably if you're not sure of something, then check. What's something? Note all the answers when I ask you to read that, and don't say that I have it. On right music. You are giving me all that complete. All private parents is what kind. Solo or regular. You don't copy. You tell him, close your book. You tell him verbally what the answer was and let him take it on his own. Don't read what he written in your own words, you tell him so he can face it. So, one of them is called. So there are there are the farm. And we did it. So we get super dynamics. Yeah. But because it's not, so it's the values they say. Understood? For how long, why he went, and for how long he stayed, that is the one. Yeah. So much he explained, that is what you understood from what he said. Said that he went to start to correct his name. Huh. Files. Huh. So what you didn't understand was in 9 minutes. Mail means not email. You're going to get an email. It depends on exactly. So I gave you how many? 5, no? It is okay. Okay, Palak, you're done now?
Yes.
Okay, read the first question and the answer that you have written. First one.
Maxwell had a pet dog earlier. After his death, he didn't want to keep a pet dog again, as
Read
this would. Sorry?
the question first and then the answer. Sorry, I don't know. Palak, you're muted.
I could I couldn't exactly hear what you said at that time, so I've written what experiment did Maxwell do?
What is the first question? What is? What experiment did Maxwell think? Demonstrated what is little boy.
It means I have to write that he decided to keep an otter this time. So I've written it.
Okay.
Maxwell had a pet dog earlier. After his death, he didn't want to keep a pet dog again, as this would remind him of his previous dog. So he decides to experiment and keep a pet otter this time, as life without pet would be lonely.
Okay. Good. Second, you read question and answer. And then see go to Basra. Basra. We read the word so many times. Is it how long does he wait there and why? He goes to Basra with his friend to collect his mail. But his friend received his mail earlier, so he had to wait there for 5 days more as yeah, his first 3 days got wasted in the holidays and some exams. So on the and finally after 2 days, whoever came with his mail. Uh, Third one, why does he get the author? How does he get the author? Does he write it? That's it. What is order? With the help of his pen gifted the order. The two words lower to make the order. Maxwell loved this order a lot. It was a perfect partner for Maxwell. It was a perfect partner for Maxwell. What we have written about? What happened when Maxwell took Mijbil to the bathroom? What did he do 2 days after? Mijbil, as an after fractured water, gave it place to play. splash, splash and slosh and roll down into the water to play in it. Mijbil was a smart creature, so as he tried opening the tap in the mud. As he tried opening the tap in the mud. Which vehicle of water was calculated and by being placed in a box not into 18 inches square as per the airline requirement. The box was secured on the floor with a metal. It also tried to Paris by trying to London. And what was the other part? What you are saying was like, no? What do you want about that? I understood that. So you read that part. I don't know why, but okay, you read. Last वो कोई पढ़ लेगा more. Simply was transported to England with the help of a box. Simply was put inside a box and Maxwell forgot to close the lid of the box properly. Because of that, in the try, it suddenly came out of the box to create a close. So that was it. Okay, how much time now? 5 minutes. 6:50. 5 minutes. It is okay. No, no. Well, done with the word. Bye. We're playing now. 5 minutes.
Bye, mom.
Yeah, bye. Tell them to if we are selecting the word or the units. We need to not only select, we need to see the other words also. No? Boys, have a look at the other words also for helping you to guess. You say, have you but good day. Till then I will draw something. Then you draw that man. Yes, very special man. Life so funny. So here you will have thought of your word and you will have seen the other words also. Slanting. And yeah. Nancy. Take your question. Shut the book. Writing. Why is writing this word? वही एक बोलेगा क्या? Like the alphabet that's going wrong. E. What is that? N. U. Right? U properly. P. S. S is like in the right. They're not so. S is straight line is what? Sound and clear now. P. P. O. What's that? Properly. Or D or specific out of it. That. Training. Because training is making the height. Don't over exaggerate. Rub it and write smaller, make smaller lines. Rub everything. I'll make you go back now. Finish, make smaller lines. Divide those into two. Divide your one into two. Okay. Okay. Forward time. Right there. Now don't laugh, huh? Now he does funny things and then he'll say why you laugh. What is this you're doing? You're laughing yourself. Nobody should laugh. ये तो बनाने का बोलते not laugh. उसको आगे पता नहीं. क्यों? है. What was the word? Sports. What? Very. What is this? Sports. SQ. Okay, that is Q. Let's word. When up.